My name is Lien, and I'm the set designer for a public reading of an unproduced screenplay about the death of Walt Disney. I started out studying architecture in college, so I guess that's what I would say is my background and what I draw upon a lot when I'm thinking about a design for a play. As the title suggests, it's a public reading, so the audience is sort of intrinsic to the event, really. So it immediately became clear to me that the design needed to include the audience. Like whatever the design was, whatever the nature of the space, it would be a complete space that encompassed the audience. And from there, we just started talking about different ideas of what this room would feel like. One initial impulse I had just from reading the script, it made me think of this airport chapel that I wandered into while I was on a layover in the Munich airport. And it was just this, this very neutral, heavenly feeling room, but there was something kind of somber or funereal even about it. And it was very transient, it was in an airport. So it was, it just felt like this room that was floating in the middle of whiteness, this sort of white box. And then this idea of a screening room. And then also we thought about boardrooms. And so eventually I feel like we have created a room that evokes sort of all three, like a boardroom, a screening room, and also sort of a funeral chapel. I think I really believe that three-dimensional space is something to be harnessed for dramatic purposes. And I think that maybe is just coming from my background in architecture, where you're taught always to kind of think about experiencing space, while moving through it. The audience is the person who's walking through the building. And so you think about the effects of the volumes of spaces that you walk through, and whether it's a constricted space or a voluminous space. These are all things that I think are incredibly powerful and ought to be experienced by the audience member, and that the three-dimensional space that's designed, it seems a shame to only see it from one side.